This is Inside Government. We're watching us from Broadcasting House. This is our national headquarters. We just want to focus on the unclaimed financial asset. You're talking about billions of shillings and shares that are lying, waiting to be reunited with their rightful owners. Well, in the last, how many years? Since 2015, the UFAA Act was operationalized, and this gave birth to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, which is supposed to reunite these resources with their rightful owners. The chairperson of the authority is KBC Business. He's now joining us so that he can help us understand what they are doing to accelerate the rate of reunification. Thank you very much indeed, Chairman, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you came into force in 2015. I mean, the Act came into being in 2012?
2011.
I mean, 2011.
Right.
What would you highlight as the major successes of UFA?
Thank you very much. As you rightfully say, Dr. CP Francis Kigo Jenga, Honorable Francis Kigo Jenga, I'm the chairman and also a director of the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority from February 2023 to date. I can talk from the point of known, because in 2011, a Kenyan resident by the name Joe Ngigi had an encounter with his relatives and unclaimed financial assets and petitioned Parliament. Out of that, Act number 40 of 2011 was enacted and formed the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority.
Yeah.
Later on, while I was personally in Parliament, we did pass the regulations of 2015. So, from 2015, the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority has been quite operational, and the major successes was first to operationalize the Act number 40 of 2011, because in Africa, no other country has such an organization as Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. And we could only borrow from jurisdictions like the US. So forming the authority and operationalizing it was the first achievement. Then the second thing was actually to get to the holders, whereby we look for the holders, educate them about the need to surrender any unclaimed financial assets. May they be shares, may they be abandoned cash, abandoned airtime, even at the judiciary, abandoned fines, or deposits placed there, deposits placed with water companies, all these things. Safe boxes holding people's valuables, and the people they cannot trace. So making the holders release was a big fight. Knowing some people had taken advantage of such money to use the money as their working capital and even enrich themselves with such money. And so it was a big fight. But now today, we really fought that fight, and we can boast that we have actually reached a level where we can call ourselves a global authority. We have collected to date cash equivalent to 36 billion shillings, shares 1,914 million units of shares, 1.9 billion.
That's almost 2 billion.
Units of shares, almost 2 billion, with a value of 46 billion. So our total portfolio today, within that part 9 years, we've collected 82 billion.
82 billion shillings.
Yes. That is not actually our core mandate. It's only just one of our core mandates to collect unclaimed financial assets. The second is to keep the same money in safe custody. It would actually be not good if we do not keep safeguarding, and safeguarding is in the law. So we take this money, we keep the money in a trust fund account at the Central Bank of Kenya. Every account there has an owner, so the money is not sent directly to us, but to that trust fund, and we invest so that we can be able to help our country in one way or the other in treasury abuse and boards. But our core mandate, which is so important to the people of Kenya, is to reunite Kenyans with their money.
With their money.
And that's the most difficult thing, because by the time I joined the organization, only 500 million have been corrected. We are talking
500 million shillings.
Only, but today, with all the effort, going to the media houses, going to where people are meeting, going to churches, going to every possible way, we reach our Kenyan, including advertisement by the print media. We have managed to reach to cash reunited at 2.5 billion, and we have reunited people with their shares at source. We facilitate of $1 billion, so we have managed 3.5 billion. And that is the biggest reason why I'm here, to tell Kenyans, we have your money in form of cash you are burdened in banks with the telcos or the telecommunication companies, to tell Kenyans you have your shares you are burdened somewhere, your dividends which you did not correct, come correct your money. We do not charge anything, and we are able to pay your money if it's your own claim within 7 to 14 days. If it is administrative, then that's where we have to actually follow the court process, look at the grant, confirm the grant, and pay. And again, we are doing that in less than a month. After 21 days, once we confirm, you'll get your money. Kenyans should come for their money. We need them to come and correct the 82 billion. It belongs to them, not to us.
It doesn't belong to the government.
No.
You see, you're talking about an institution that has so far managed to amass almost 90 billion shillings in unclaimed financial assets.
Yes.
And in the same spirit, you're talking about reuniting about 3.5 billion shillings?
Only.
So why the huge disparity here?
I want to tell you one of the biggest problems that we have, and the reason why the disparity is because Kenyans are not coming for their money. And you see, we have tried even actually to make the law much easier for them, because today you don't have to come. You just need to go to your phone, dial *361#, then you follow the procedure, become an agent, a unification agent. Then using your ID as an indicator, you look for your money and look for others. Once you get the money, you just go straight to our website, www.UFAA.go.ke, fill in or get the forms that are there, fill in the forms, send them by email or even by WhatsApp or whatever you use.
So they don't have to come to your physical offices?
Once we get that, we confirm your details. If it's a case that actually you are arrived, we just send the money either to your phone, we send the money to your account, but we need to get you. Where are Kenyans? Where are the real owners of this money? And the money does not belong to people who are dead. People who are alive are the majority.
The people who are alive?
Yes.
And so why aren't they collecting this money, the people who are alive?
I don't know why they are not collecting.
Is it that they are not aware?
The major reason is they can say they are not aware, but you've been in every county in clinics. We've actually been to, we have been to Kisumu twice, we've been to Nakuru, we have been to Eldoret, we've been to Thika, we've been to Murang'a, we've been to Nyeri, I think twice, we've been to Embu, we've been to Meru, we've been to Mombasa.
Virtually almost all
almost
counties.
Every other county that is actually, and in every village, the assistant chiefs, the chiefs, we call them the national government administrative officers, the NGAOs, our unification agents. We have trained them. Wherever they go, if it's in a burial ceremony, is in a dowry ceremony, whatever ceremony, in Chief's Baraza, they talk about it. But people don't even make effort to come. The other major thing is people who are actually in disputes, because most of our Kenyan families are in disputes over their parental inheritance. And we find it sometimes it takes so long. I know so many institutions that actually have a lot of money, but you see the parents or the owners are deceased. So you find people don't want to even actually go to arbitration or even go to perfect their documents so that we can pay. So that's another problem. But the major problem is that for people who arrive, they just ignore.
I want to hear this from you. I mean, for the people who have transitioned,
Yes.
meaning that they are dead,
Yes.
what are you doing about them?
It's a thing. Once the heir or the administrators identify that the deceased had money, very easy. The first thing is to actually look for the letters of administration and the confirmation of grant. That's a must even for you to operate a bank account of a deceased person. Immediately you get that grant, you just actually go to the website or visit our offices or Huduma Center, and from there you fill in the form which is prescribed for people who are beneficiaries. Immediately you fill that, you take it even to the magistrate, to an assistant chief, to a DCC, or to offices. We have a panel of lawyers, we have lawyers there, we confirm. Then the only thing we do, which we are trying to amend under the law, is to confirm the grant, because the grant once gazetted is confirmed. So we will reconfirm, but we are soon going to stop reconfirming. We will stop reconfirming because the law will be amended. So in other words, we are also in partnership with the National Assembly. It is an oversight authority, it's an oversight body, and we are also actually in touch with the Senate, because this actually involves the vote function. Even further, we want to get into other partnership like with the post office. There are post offices all over this country, and we are engaging people to go to such institutions, such as post offices, Huduma centers, and all over, well distributed in the major towns and major cities in this country, and we'll be able to access every Kenyan and to pay.
I know there is an attempt to amend the UFAA Act.
Yes.
So that you can allow third parties
Yes.
To collect unclaimed financial assets
Yes.
With the permission of the rightful owners. How far are you in terms of pushing that agenda?
That agenda went to Parliament. First, Parliament is a house of everybody. Even you can take to the National Assembly or the Senate, whatever you want to be put in law, as a private member or as a private Kenyan. And so that was not basically from us. But when I look at, when you have the powers of attorney, I have no reason not to pay you. Just like when you have the grant of administration. When you have the power of attorney, you arrive and you want to bestow the money to a beneficiary other than yourself. The powers of attorney are enough. But the amendments that you want are bigger than that. The amendments we are looking for is, number one, let's not confirm grants, because a grant is a grant. Number two, let us actually remove these so many forms that people have to file. Number three, harmonize the Data Protection Act with the Unclaimed Financial Assets Act, that we can work together in partnership and pay people without bothering them. If I know that O'Brien Kimani was actually one day the owner of this number, left this money, is now the current owner of this number, and his credentials, his ID and details are here, then we should be able to send the money to O'Brien and tell him this is the money you raised somewhere without much ado. Other things are also like the holders. So many Kenyans are holding salaries that were left by people. Their families did not know. Some are arrived, some are dead, some vacate. You leave your savings. And what we are saying basically is, those are the things we are saying, that any Kenyan who holds any money must disclose it, because the law allows you from 30th of June, after you audit your accounts if you are public sector, you are supposed to release that money by 1st of November. By the way, the penalties are very punitive. If you are in the private sector and you are in that 1st December, you have 10 months to release that money. So what we are saying, if Kenyans become compliant and release the money alongside, if they would be allowed by the Data Protection Act, alongside with the basic information, we are able to look for these Kenyans and give them their money. Because we are bound by law to obey the law to protect data, and also to obey the law to safeguard this money, also to receive this money and unite this money. So we need the cooperation of the many institutions. And Parliament, I am requesting Parliament hasten the proposal that we had put through the CS National Treasury, which obviously are facts and obviously will help us achieve our core objectives.
Chairman, before I let you go, I know there has been debate as to whether the owners of these unclaimed financial assets, whether they should also be beneficiaries of the interest accrued from investments made by UFA on these unclaimed financial assets. I don't know what your position is on this.
Okay, our Act calls the interests on any such investment. It is part of the funds of the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. What do I mean? By the time we hold and invest the money and we get some interest, that interest that we get shall be held together with the fund of the organization. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? The actual money that you invested is yours, okay? But the interest is for posterity, the future posterity of the organization, so that at any one time we are not unable to pay arising claims. Secondly, we are borrowing seriously from jurisdiction. We learned recently that India alone has got almost half of or more than the GDP of Kenya, because that's about, or even half, because it's about 565 billion US dollars. So if you get the unclaimed financial assets in India at 565 billion US dollars, and if you add that one to about 120, you can see it's almost more than half of the GDP of Kenya. What do they do with this money? Like where I went in Arizona, I was in Seattle, looking for information and knowledge. I was in other 4 states, including the famous cities of America. After some times, if you don't claim this money, the law is very clear. The money must go to the mainstream economy. How does it go to the mainstream economy? Like in America, in most states, it goes, if you are rehabilitated, the money will go to make sure that you become contributive to the economy. In other states, the money goes straight to education of a certain cadre. So we believe that this money should be going back to the mainstream economy. In our case, we had wanted, with the amendment of the Act once it is to go back to boost the basic economy, what we are calling the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Yeah. It was a very good agenda because, number one, if we go to like agriculture, if we go like training, if we go like anything that actually produces for the people of Kenya, we are creating employment indirectly. If we go to industrialization, if we go to even climate change issues, we are helping the country. Even if you go to affordable housing, if you are out by law, we will be helping Kenya. Very good. And so many other things that we can do to help this country, including financing what we call the very bottom economies through government agencies. So probably we will amend the law. If you don't get your money after some times and we cannot trace you, the money goes to the mainstream economy in a very secured channel. Very good. So the money helps the economy. Very good. Yes. Chairman, unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of time. Yes. We have to come to a close. Thank you very much. Conversation. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Yes. And of course for sharing with us what UFAA is doing. Thank you. We look forward to more engagement in the future. Thank you. And I urge Kenyans, including you people. Yeah. I urge the Gen Zs, the millennials, even the baby boomers, anybody alive, including people to come for their money. Yeah. Check *361#, go to www.ufaa.go.ke, visit our offices at Percy's House, Westlands, visit your assistant chief, your chief, come for your money. We need to give this money to you so that it eases the economic hardship, which is globally a major phenomenon to fight. Very good. And also the money to go back to the mainstream economy. Asante sana. Thank you.
Dr. CPA Kiko Jenga is the chairperson of the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, joining us here on Inside Government to help us understand what the authority is doing to reunite these unclaimed financial assets with their rightful owners. And of course, we have heard it from him. My name is O'Brien Kimani. Thank you very much. You have been watching Inside Government right here on KBC Channel 1. Enjoy the rest of the programs.